No man will practice craft without first learning it, even if it's secondary occupation, but everyone considers himself sufficient prepared for the most difficult of professions, management. I am Mihars. We continue the discussion of the Planet Without Borders project, previous name Harmony, copyright registration certificate number 44902, Ukraine. Today we will talk about the vital virtues of a man with a kind, dazzling smile of love and peace, and not with a grimace of hatred and war. Draft Constitution of Humanitarian Development. Interactions of systematic scientific support of civilizational development and security. 57. Complete rejection of representative democracy and transition to direct democracy based on the use of the latest information and communication technologies, and systematic scientific support for civilizational development and security. 58. Complete rejection of state forms of government, state system and transition to the use of paid services of the scientific support system for civilizational development and security. 59. Complete rejection of fiscal policy in taxation and transition to voluntary choice, and investment by people of socio-economic programs and projects based on joint ownership of natural and civilizational resources. 60. People, while retaining the real opportunity to act according to their own free will, use the transparently paid services of the scientific support system for civilizational development and security. System of scientific support for development and security. System of scientific support for development and security. '62. Constant monitoring and rating of social ideas, projects, programs, and systematic scientific support for development and security is provided by an open system of scientific centers, society, resources, production and exchange, security, science, created on the basis of scientific research structures of national academies of sciences, institutes of education, culture, art. 63. The Socium Center provides a full range of social services, provides social management, scientific support and monitoring of social processes, expert system analysis of proposals, ideas, projects of citizens and, based on them, forms programs that are purchased or benevolently supported by civil society by investing own funds, voting, with money, in their implementation. Unsolicited, but promising, ideas and projects with the permission of their author, in compliance with copyright and intellectual property rights, services for their design and registration are provided, are transferred to a certain percentage of profit from their use to the system of idea banks, or to the market of ideas for their implementation. Successful implementation of socio-economic programs and projects enables citizen investors to receive investment income. 64. The Resources Community Center manages and distributes profits from the use of natural and civilizational resources, ensures their accounting, protection, scientifically based use, restoration and development. At the prices of the global, in the transition period, domestic public market, the center sells or makes available to business entities the resources they need. Financial institutions of the center accumulate and distribute proceeds to identification accounts, which are opened from the moment of birth for each person and are accumulative until they reach adulthood. In the event of the death of the owner of the identification account, unused funds are not inherited, but are redistributed. The use of identification accounts of disabled and dependent persons is carried out under the supervision of the relevant medical and social services. 65. The Scientific Center, Production and Exchange, unites the creative abilities of people in the development of production and realization of the aggregate social product, carries out systematic scientific support, management, marketing, mandatory and open to the public scientific and expert assessment of quality, competitive selection of the manufactured product for its implementation on the state and world markets, certification, financial monitoring of public production and the market. The center carries out analysis of ideas, projects, business plans, legal registration, registration of subjects of production and market activity, lending, organization, scientific support of production and its maximum approximation to the market, employment, training of employees in accordance with the requirements of the labor market. Financial institutions of the center carry out constant monitoring of financial transactions and flows related to production and market activities. Control and settlement with employees at the request of employers. 66. The Bezpeka Scientific Center carries out constitutional supervision of the safety of social relations, ensures the protection of individuals and society from all forms of violence and aggression, the creation of optimal safety conditions and guarantees of their free creative development. The center unites environmental protection, human rights and information structures. Before the creation of a global security system, society cooperates in the creation and development of sufficient public scientific and industrial complex, PRAVO, in cooperation with public human rights organizations, accepts appeals from individuals and legal entities 24 hours a day in an automated mode, conducts scientific and expert analysis of offenses, provides sanctions for conducting investigative actions, blocking accounts. Based on his recommendations, the decision to establish justice is made by the court in cooperation with civil society, community. Scientific and industrial complex, information, provides free and full access of citizens to objective information about the life of society, participation of citizens in the development of information provision of the population, public control and protection against manipulation of information, development of an open information society in which there are no hidden secrets or hide from people. The scientific and industrial complex, ecosystem, carries out environmental control over the production of a public product, produces appropriate recommendations for making public decisions regarding the protection, preservation, development of the ecosystem and the prevention of environmental disasters. 67. To create and implement optimal technologies for human development and activity, the NORCA Scientific Center unites and mobilizes the creative potential and opportunities of civil society, science, art, and culture, extending its specialized scientific and research structural subdivisions directly to public production, and forming with its scientific and production complexes, technical application of science. The Science Center unites public centers of strategic directions of development, their scientific, technological, financial institutions, scientific industrial complexes, banks of ideas, into a single integrated system of scientific management that functions in the conditions of an open market of ideas, projects, programs, and strategies. 68. Operational management of the system of scientific support for development and security is carried out by the Coordinating Council consisting of 12 people, who are elected based on the results of a permanent rating among scientists and artists. Depending on the rating, the members of the Coordination Council have a different number of votes for making collective decisions. First place, 12, second, 11, etc. The preparation and formation of decisions involves the participation of structural scientific units that provide expert and systematic analysis, intellectual decision-making in a mode open to civil society by the owners of the 12 best ratings at the time of voting, regardless of their location, is mandatory. Depending on the change in rating, the composition of the Coordination Council changes automatically. The one who has the best rating presides over the meetings, operative shifts take place in turn. 69. From the moment of reaching the age of majority, a person has the right to enter into an agreement on cooperation with the system of scientific management of development and security, access to a protected identification information and communication network, enter his name in the electronic register of citizens, provided he participates in public production. 70. The system of scientific management of development and security through an identification information and communication network functions in the mode of constant round-the-clock communication with each person. The latest information technologies provide such an opportunity. 71. The system of financial institutions of scientific centers ensures fast and high-quality conduct of any banking operations and non-cash settlements. My unknown friend. We will consider the interactions of the transition period on the way to a new humanitarian culture in the next video. See you later.